In this video essay, I will be discussing how Scorsese creates one of the best mafia movies of all time. From the very beginning, we learn that Goodfellas was based off of a true story. Keeping this in mind, director Scorsese draws us in and shows the audience what it is actually like to live a life as a mobster. Within the opening sequence, Scorsese sets the tone by introducing violence as a habitual act. This is the brutal way of life in which these characters live. Here we watch as our main protagonists shoot and stab this man without any remorse. Scorsese uses freeze frames and voiceovers to show the importance behind certain scenes in the movie.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
This line is important because it shows that Henry will be narrating his own story as a gangster.
Tommy and me, and there was Anthony Stabile, Frankie Carbone.
In this particular scene, Henry is introducing us to the characters in which he calls
And
family.
these guys, Frankie the Wop, Freddie No Nose, and then there was Pete the Killer, who was Sally Balls' brother.
Scorsese's use of voiceover helps to make the story feel more personal and connects the audience to its characters.
And Jimmy Two Times, who got that nickname because he said everything twice, like...
I'm gonna go get the papers,
Another technique Scorsese used to make this film seem more realistic is the use of long takes. A long take is generally used in films to evoke feelings from the audience. In the Copacabana long take, this scene, with the help of music, draws in the audience from the character's point of view, showing them how great it feels to be powerful. This scene accurately depicts the peak of Henry's career as a mobster and the high social class obtained from this type of lifestyle. In this scene, also notice that there is no cursing, cocaine, violence, or anything. On the other hand, when Henry reaches his downfall, the camera starts to cut more frequently and is shakier. This helps the audience to feel more anxious or paranoid about the situation. Scorsese also uses sound as a way to evoke emotions from the audience by using a more aggressive rock song. Scorsese also uses time captions as a way to show how quick time is going by in comparison to the Copacabana scene. Also notice how the frequent use of drugs, profanity, and weapons becomes more apparent in the scenes of Henry's downfall.
You want to see helicopters? Come on, I'll show you helicopters.
I've seen enough helicopters before, thank you.
That's the hardest part.
By the very end of the movie, we learn that Henry has no remorse for the life that he has lived.
Can't even get decent food. Right after I got here, I ordered some spaghetti with marinara sauce, and I got egg noodles and ketchup. I'm an average nobody. Get to live the rest of my life like a schnook.
This line is important because it brings the movie all together and makes it all seem so real. There is no moral rectitude or life lessons by the end of the movie. We see Henry miserable as he lives his life as an average nobody. The movie ends with the classic great train robbery move of Joe Pesci pointing a gun at the audience. Also remember how Joe Pesci opened up the movie with violence right from the beginning. In all of Scorsese's films, violence is a major theme in which makes his movies so great. Although Scorsese includes violence in most of his films, he does it in a way that is aesthetically pleasing.
Got stoned, went to his girlfriends, and by the time he woke up...
The violence and brutality in Goodfellas is necessary because it makes the movie seem more authentic rather than fictional.
It was just a matter of time before they got to Stacks. Months after the robbery, they were finding bodies all over.
Throughout the whole entire movie, only 10 people were killed, but they were killed in a way that was explicit and intense. One way we see Scorsese's violence turn into an art is that even though we watch the characters brutally murder other people, we still sympathize with them. We shouldn't like these characters, but we do. We see the both sides to every character, the side where they are with their gang and the side where they are with their families. With their gangs, they are more vicious and brutal, but with their families, they are more caring and humorous.
You know, we always called each other Goodfellas. Like you'd say to somebody, "You're gonna like this guy, he's alright. He's a good fella, he's one of us." You understand? We were good fellas, wise guys.
Although we see that the characters are not your typical Goodfellas, Henry explains what being a Goodfella is all about. We sympathize with the characters because they give us a sense of belonging and a sense of high respect. Scorsese shows the audience what it actually feels like to be a part of the wise guys.